Hey there, curious wayfinders. How much should you pay for a logo? It's rather confusing out there. You might get an offer from freelancer for designing your logo at a price point of $50 or $100. If you go to a professional graphic designer, they would offer you a logo for $2,000 or so. If you turn to an agency, they would charge you, $10,000 for a logo. But if you go and start digging deeper, you might find that certain companies have paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for their logos. And then on the other hand, you have things like AI generated logos, which do that sort of job for you for free. So, all in all, it's rather confusing. First, let's try and understand what a logo means. Now, logo is a shortened version of the word logotype. Now, logotype consists of two words: logo, which is logos, word, and type, which stands for typography. So you can think of a logotype as a particular type or font that is used to represent the logos, the word. Okay, but when we say logo, we don't just mean the logotype. There is also a thing that's called a mark or brand mark or logo mark. That's a Nike's swoosh, or it's a McDonald's arc, golden arc. So these are the main two components of a logo. So the mark, the brand mark, and a logotype. Sometimes they're separate, sometimes they're mashed together. Like, for instance, the Burger King's logo, it's a burger, which is a mark, but then you also have a logotype inside that says Burger King, right? So, okay. With Nike, for instance, they have three versions of it. So they have the logotype that says Nike, Nike, and then they have the swoosh, and sometimes they appear separately on their marketing communications. But sometimes they put both the logotype and the brand mark together. So you have this Nike and swoosh beneath it. Okay. So now that we know what you should expect in terms of the logo, when you're hiring someone to do the work for you, you should ask them what they're going to deliver. So the logo type, the brand mark, what else? You should expect to get at least several options, at least three options on the logo. Then you want to expect to see the iterations, like 100 iterations on each variant of the logo. You can deduct that since there are variations of the logo and there are iterations on the logo, you can understand that there is a certain amount of man hours involved in creating a logo. But that is true, and that's part of the costs of creating a logo. But what you don't know, the behind the scenes process is the amount of applications that your company is going to use the logo on. So for instance, if you're going to produce billboards, if you're going to have stationaries with your logos, you're going to have your website, you're going to post something on social media, so your social media pages, your marketing communications, maybe you're going to be producing brochures, business cards and stuff like that. Every touch point that's going to have your logo on it have to be kept in mind when designing a logo, because it's not the same to have a logo on a pencil and to have a logo on a billboard. So the more applications there are, the more expensive it's going to be for you to create the logo. Think of it this way: the higher your marketing budget, the more applications you're going to have where the logo is going to appear, the more expensive the logo will get. And that is fine, that is okay, because you don't want to end up in a situation where a certain deliverable is created, but then it turns out that you have to redo it because the logo doesn't look well, or it's invisible, or People confuse it with someone else's, and heaven forbid, your competitor's logo. The more applications there are, the more it makes sense for a logo to be more expensive. Now, for small business, I mean, if you're just starting out, if you're just like a startup, then paying more than $100 for a logo, well, in my opinion, doesn't make any sense because, well, it's not that people are going to form a line in front of your doors because you have a great logo. It's not going to happen. Secondly, you have to keep in mind that, statistically speaking, like half of businesses, they just shut down in 3 years. They go out of business, and that's a reality, and you have to accept it. So when you're just starting out, it doesn't make much sense to pay a lot of money for a logo. But let's say if you're still a small business and you've been around for 5 years or so, you have an established customer base, and you have a steady cash flow. So what you want to do is you want to create a good logo that's memorable, that's aligned with what you do, that maybe says something about you, that helps you to stand out, to differentiate from your competition. So in order for you to figure out what's the fair price for a logo, you have to look at your marketing budget first. And then you have to think about the amount of applications your logo is going to appear. There is no strict formula, and obviously the more renowned the agency that you hire, the more expensive the logo is going to be. And that makes sense as well, right? But again, the more applications there are, the more expensive the logo is going to be. So if you have any additional questions about the logo that I haven't covered in this video, please leave a comment and I'll try to respond to those questions. Put a like and subscribe to this channel, because I'm talking about how to market your small business in order for you to move from being just another bland commodity toward a compelling brand, so that you can start charging more for your services and eventually make your competition irrelevant. So thanks for watching. Bye.